In the beautiful green hills of Mizoram, a special tradition takes root in the heart of every home. It is a quiet act of worship, a gentle whisper of faith that happens not in a grand cathedral, but in the simple warmth of a family kitchen. This tradition is known as rice money, and it reveals a profound truth about giving. It shows us that the most powerful gifts often come not from our abundance, but from the very substance of our daily lives. This is a story about rice, yes, but it is also a story about love, sacrifice, and the incredible power of a small, consistent act of faith that ripples outward to change the world. Imagine a mother in a Mizo village preparing the evening meal for her family. The main dish, as it is for most meals, is rice. She reaches into a large bag of uncooked grains and measures out just enough for her husband and children. But before she puts the rice into the cooking pot, she does something remarkable. She pauses. She takes just one handful of that uncooked rice and sets it aside in a separate container. This small portion is not for her family to eat. It is a gift. It is her offering, a sacred portion set apart for a purpose far greater than a single meal. This simple, repeated motion is a sacred rhythm in the lives of many Mizo-Christian families. It is a daily reminder of their connection to God and to their community. Day after day, with every meal prepared, another handful of rice joins the first. The container slowly fills grain by grain, becoming a tangible symbol of their steady and heartfelt generosity. This isn't a gesture made only when there is extra to spare. It is a deliberate act of setting aside a portion of their essential sustenance. It is a quiet promise, a daily commitment whispered from the heart of the home, a testament to a faith that is lived out in the most ordinary moments of life. This practice is not about grand gestures or public displays of charity. It is deeply personal and woven into the fabric of daily existence. The handful of rice represents a small sacrifice, a conscious choice to share what they have, even when what they have is just enough. It is a lesson passed down through generations, a legacy of giving that is as nourishing to the soul as the rice is to the body. This small act of setting aside a handful of hope teaches a powerful lesson that true generosity doesn't start with what is in our wallets, but with what is in our hearts, a lesson that begins in the humble setting of a family kitchen. The journey of this special rice does not end in the kitchen container. On Sunday morning, as families prepare for church, they gather not only their Bibles but also their small bags of saved rice. The collection of grains, which has grown handful by handful throughout the week, is now ready for the next step of its sacred journey. Men, women, and children walk along the winding paths to their local church, carrying these humble offerings. It is a beautiful sight, a quiet parade of faithfulness, where the currency of giving is not coins or paper money, but the very food that sustains them. This act transforms the individual, private sacrifices into a powerful collective gift. At the church, there is no fancy offering plate for this rice. Instead, all the small bags from all the families are poured together into a large central container. The sound of the grains tumbling together is the sound of a community united in purpose. The individual handfuls are now indistinguishable, merged into one great heap of generosity. The rice from the family with little and the rice from the family with a bit more, all become one. In this moment, every household's contribution matters equally. It is a powerful demonstration of unity, showing that when small, faithful acts are combined, they create something truly significant and full of potential. This weekly gathering of rice is a cornerstone of the church's mission. It is a system built on trust and participation, where everyone has a role to play. The church leaders don't see it as just a pile of rice, they see it as a resource provided by God through the faithful hands of His people. The collected rice represents the collective heartbeat of the congregation, a rhythm of giving that sustains the church's outreach. It is a practical expression of their shared faith, a way to put their love into action and serve others beyond the walls of the church building, turning simple grains into a foundation for ministry. Once all the rice has been collected from every family, the church then takes on the responsibility of selling this large quantity at the local market. The process is simple and transparent. The money earned from this sale is what becomes the rice money. It is now transformed from sustenance for the body into a financial resource for the soul of the community. This money is not for the church's own upkeep or for paying bills. It is specifically designated for missionary work and for helping others in need, ensuring that the sacrifice made in each kitchen extends its blessings to people far and wide. The rice money is not just a collection, it is a fund with a holy purpose. The church uses these proceeds to fuel projects that spread hope and share their faith. This is where the true power of those individual handfuls of rice becomes clear. The accumulated funds are used to support missionaries, to help them travel to distant villages and share their message of love and faith with people who have never heard it. The small, daily sacrifices made in countless kitchens combine to build a bridge of grace that reaches across mountains and valleys, connecting hearts and changing lives in ways the givers may never directly see. One of the most inspiring stories of what this rice money can achieve is a testament to its incredible impact. For a long time, the Mizo people dreamed of having the complete Bible translated into their own language, a monumental task that required modern tools. With unwavering faith, the church designated the rice money for this very purpose. Week after week, handful by handful, the fund grew. It was a slow and steady accumulation, built on the consistent generosity of the entire community. The goal was not just to raise money, but to participate together in bringing God's word to life in their own tongue. The day finally came when enough rice money had been saved. The church was able to purchase a computer. This was not just a piece of technology, it was a tool for a sacred mission. The computer dramatically accelerated the work of the Bible translators, allowing them to work more efficiently and accurately. What seemed like an impossible dream became a reality, all because of the faithful, daily act of setting aside a handful of uncooked rice. This computer stands as a powerful symbol of how small, consistent acts of giving can come together to accomplish great and wonderful things for the glory of God. This single project shows the profound connection between the humble kitchen and the grand work of the kingdom. The woman who set aside a handful of rice for her family's meal was directly contributing to the translation of the Holy Scriptures. Her small act of sacrifice was a seed that grew into a harvest of spiritual nourishment for her entire people. It proves that we do not need to have great wealth to make a great difference. We only need a willing heart and the faithfulness to give what we can, trusting that God will multiply our simple gifts to achieve His extraordinary purposes. This beautiful tradition in Mizoram brings to mind a powerful story that Jesus told. One day, He was in the temple watching people put their gifts into the offering box. Many rich people came and put in large sums of money, making a great show of their generosity. Their donations were impressive, and many people would have praised them for their wealth and their willingness to give so much. Their coins made a loud sound as they dropped into the collection box, drawing attention to the size of their gift and the status of the giver. It was a display of abundance for all to see. Then, a poor widow came forward. She was quiet and likely went unnoticed by most. She reached into her pocket and pulled out 2 very small copper coins worth only a fraction of a penny. She dropped them into the box, and their sound was barely a whisper compared to the clanging of the rich men's gold. To anyone watching, her gift would have seemed insignificant, almost nothing. It was the smallest possible donation one could make. Yet, Jesus saw something that no one else did. He saw the heart behind the gift, and it moved Him deeply. Jesus called His disciples over and said something that must have shocked them. He told them that this poor widow had put in more than all the others. How could this be? The rich had given from their great wealth, they had plenty left over. Their gift was a portion of their surplus, an amount they would not even miss. But the widow, He explained, had given everything she had to live on. Her 2 small coins were not from her excess, they were her everything. Her gift was a total act of trust and sacrifice, a profound expression of her deep faith in God. The Mizo tradition of rice money reflects the very same principle. The handful of rice is like the widow's 2 coins. It is not about the amount, it is about the sacrifice. It is a gift that comes from the giver's daily substance, not just their surplus. God does not measure our gifts with a scale or a calculator. He measures them by the love and sacrifice in our hearts. A small gift given with great love is more precious to Him than a large gift given with none. This reminds us that everyone can give something meaningful, because the true value of our offering is always and only measured by the heart.